This is a quick summary of what I have for my spraying setup. So in my garden shed I've got two compressors. One's 50 litres, I think the other one's 25. That's my old original compressor I just used for tools around the garage. It's a cheap one, I think it's about £80 or so. This one is a higher horsepower, and it was from Lidl or Aldi, and it was about £160 or so. I've actually changed the way that they operate. They both operate triggered from one pressure switch, so they both go on and off at the same time. So these switches are rated for about 20 amps, so it's no problem to run both compressors from the one switch. The two hose pipes from the two compressors come up into here. Two outlets are joined together, then out through the yellow, which heads up to the garage. There's a drain here. There's probably going to be a bit of water comes out. Drain that down after use each time. Now the power for these is probably officially more than 13 amps for both of them. I've got them both running off this 13 amp extension cable. It's got a thermal switch in it, it's never tripped, and that goes in through the kitchen window and goes into the cooker outlet 13 amp switch, which is a high amperage circuit, so I'm not too worried about taking the 16 amps. The fuse is never blown either. So that's the garage. So the hose pipe comes from the shed up and into the garage in that door. I actually never use that door, so we go around the front. So the air comes in, as you can see down at the bottom, into this pair of inlets here. The second inlet actually comes from another compressor. So another compressor I got from eBay. It's only about £40 second hand, and I don't use this one when I'm spraying because it would just suck in the spray, overspray, and poison me, so I just use that for air tools now. Anyway, the air goes into this copper pipe here along to another drop leg and another. And really this copper here, this copper piping, is just for condensation. To try and get rid of the moisture out of the air. So it goes up, along, and down here. And then I've got my a moisture trap. Yeah, there's some moisture in there. Then an oil filter, a coalescent oil filter. And then I've got two outputs for dry air. And the first of those is going down here for my air line, for my breathing mask and the spray gun. And this is just the second filter I've got here. And I used to have an oiler which would inject oil into air here, but it stopped working, so I've taken out the circuit at the moment. And this goes into my hose reel, and that's used exclusively for power tools because this airline's got oil in it now. And the main clean air, dry air, comes up into this charcoal filter. So hopefully that will take out the last of the contaminants before going into the air-fed mask. And on the bottom of the filter there's another pigtail which comes off, and that's used to plug into the spray guns. So I've got three spray guns. The first one is a DeVilbiss FLG5 with a 1.8mm tip. That's used for spraying primers and thicker paints. Same gun again, FLG5, but with a 1.4mm tip, and that's for spraying base coat and clear. And I've got this mini gun which is used for just doing small jobs. It's got a 1mm tip, and I use that for primer, base coat and clear, and I get pretty good results with that. And to be honest, and this gun only cost me £20, it was really cheap. These ones were £70 each. and I would say the results I get out of the £20 gun are as good as the results I get from the £70 gun. So I actually think the gun isn't that important, and it's technique that's most important. I still need to do a lot more practice to get better technique. So that's what I've got for my spray setup. So a few other things. These are my paint shelves. So I've got my epoxy primers, high build primers. I got base coats, so that's a silver for the Jag and blue for the Mercedes. Gun wash, panel wipe, and I've got my clear coats, and up the top I've got two types of clear coat. I've got a very fast one and a slower one. If you're doing a small job, I use the fast. If I do a bigger job, I use the slow, normal clear. And then I've got various polishes. This is a fast cutting compound, and then some polishes to finish the job off. For putting on the cutting compound, I use this Makita polisher. I don't have a DA polisher. I think I'd like one, but they're pretty expensive, so I'll have to wait till another birthday or Christmas.